meeting to order at 9 a.m. This time we'll have Mr. Ross Clemens from Lynn Haven Methodist Church to lead us in our invocation and pledge of allegiance.
If you please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you deeply for the freedom to come together as a community and govern ourselves. We thank you for everyone who's in this room, concerned citizens, staff, elected officials. Ask that you be with us all as we turn to you for guidance to seek your way forward. We ask that you fill each of us with the fruit of the Spirit so that we can work patiently with one another to determine that path. And it's in the mighty name of our Savior, Jesus Christ, that we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before public commentary, we have a note from Mr. Lightfoot regarding an item we need to consider adding to the agenda.
Yes, Mayor, we'd like to add a possible discussion and approval of a letter of engagement with a law firm to help the city with the fire department unionization efforts.
All right. Are there any questions for Mr. Lightfoot in regards to adding that to the agenda? All right. Is there a motion for that?
I didn't hear. I'm sorry.
It is a possible letter of engagement from a law firm to discuss the union efforts of the fire department to assist the city.
Got no problem. Do we have to do a motion? Or?
Yeah.
I'll make the motion to add that to the agenda.
I'll second it.
All right. Any public commentary? Okay. If you'll call the vote.
Commissioner Perno?
Yes.
Commissioner Ward?
Yes.
Commissioner Tender?
Yes.
Commissioner Peebles?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes. Motion passed. This time we have our public commentary. Mr. George Hines.
Morning, Commissioner, Mayor, City Manager, George Hines, 603 Rhode Island Avenue. The agenda I just looked at has about an audit Ms. Tender wanted. She wanted, I'm in the mic. It ain't my fault. Turn your hearing aid up, you'd be better. Anyway, Judy asked for an audit before she left, and when she came back, she wanted to have an audit. If something wrong with the finances, it was during the time she was here and the time she returned. All the on the board that was people was the only one wasn't there then. So if the budget's bad, it's been bad. And if it's been bad, don't pass the blame because you was here when it went bad. That's all I got. Thank you.
All right. Alvin Peters.
Good morning, Mayor and Commissioners. I'm Alvin Peters of Peters and Schoon, 25 East 8th Street. I'm proud to represent my friend and your former city manager, Vicki Gaynor. Your rush to judgment in terminating her was abrupt, severe, and discriminatory. Your actions exposed the city to potential liability, and this matter is not going away quietly. Until recently, Lynn Haven enjoyed a reputation as a welcoming city with a history of helping to build a strong middle class, both black and white. I think of black people who prospered in Lynn Haven like March Green, Leon Miller, Sharon Sheffield, Doc Smith, and Vera Champlain. Now, however, the city's reputation as a fair-minded place is fraying, if not in tatters. In the legal world, to prove a case of discrimination, we look to similarly situated persons. Here, we have the recent treatment of your former city manager, Michael White. He was arrested for aggravated assault with a firearm, threatening his wife with a gun. In the minutes of March 17th, 2019, this city commission suspended Mr. White indefinitely with pay pending the completion of an investigation. Even though Mr. Gaynor and Mr. White were subject to similar employment contracts, Mr. White was allowed to resign. He was allowed to craft his own severance package. He was afforded the benefit of an objective third-party investigation by the Bay County Sheriff's Office. And importantly, this city commission, including you, Ms. Tender, suspended him indefinitely with pay. In contrast, On Friday, July 11th, commissioners received a deposition from a witness in a civil case, set in a special meeting for Monday, July 14th, attempted to fire Ms. Gaynor on Monday, and even though that was not on the agenda. You all performed a perfunctory 2 or 3 witness interview on Wednesday, and then reasserted your inclination to terminate her on Friday, all within a week. There was no indefinite suspension with pay. There was no investigation by an objective third party. In sum, Ms. Gaynor was summarily fired in a rush to judgment with no meaningful objective investigation. And Michael White was treated much better. Why? Thank you.
Cecile Schoon.
Good morning. My name is Cecile Schoon, Peters and Schoon Law Firm, 25 East 8th Street, Panama City, Florida. I have several points to make. Ms. Gaynor was never even given notice that discussion of her employment or termination was going to occur on Monday, 14 July. It was out of the blue. The only thing on the agenda was discussion of a civil case involving one of the bidders. She had no preparation, no due process. At that meeting, commissioners indicated they wanted to terminate her on the spot. What does that mean? That means that any later interviews were a nullity. You'd already made up your mind. You'd already made up your mind. We want to get rid of this lady right away. And you did so, and you took actions to do so against the advice of your counsel, who said, let the process play out. Let an independent investigation occur. That did not happen. And why? Ms. Gaynor, you thought, had done something to the bidding process to prevent a particular person from being able to bid. The evidence shows there could be no further from the truth. The 2 amendments that Ms. Gaynor was recommended to make, and that she did make, benefited the city by cutting out subs. When you have one contractor do 75 to 100% of the work, every time you have a sub, they need their profit margin. It just gets more expensive. The same thing with having the contractor have a paving machine. You get rid of subs. That literally benefited the city, and Ms. Gaynor was advised to put those changes. Furthermore, everybody was treated the same. Nobody got beneficial treatment. Everybody could bid, including the person who had the lowest bid before could have bid again. There was no direct effort to harm anyone. And despite that fact, there was that rush to judgment and the difference in treatment. Mr. White was actually arrested for a criminal offense where someone could have died and got such great treatment. Ms. Gaynor was taking care of city business, acting on the advice of her staff, and she was railroaded out. What is the difference? Mr. White is a white male, and Ms. Gaynor is a black female. What we see before us is the definition of a case of disparate treatment based on protected classes. Thank you.
Christy McElroy.
Wasn't sure exactly if I was even going to speak today. I'm glad that a lot of this is happening publicly. I always believe that there are 2 sides to every story. And so you have to view things from both sides. I want to just address one thing. Tommy Ford taking to his personal Facebook page and posting about a recall. That is a legal process. We're talking about the sheriff of Bay County, a man that has a lot of power. Even though he takes to his personal page And I'm not on Facebook, but a lot of those comments were sent to me. He was still referred to as the sheriff. Many people have asked for the sheriff's help in personal situations. Again, I'm glad some of this is playing out today. I'm glad the attorneys are here. We have a responsibility as citizens and as taxpayers to make sure that we exercise our rights, our legal rights, and that we petition our government. So I know this may be another painful chapter for the city of Lynn Haven and also for the Panhandle. But everyone that has power needs to exercise their power carefully and not cause a chilling effect. Thank you.
Tony Bostic.
Good morning, Mayor, Commissioner. You guys fired Miss Vicki Gaynor, a black woman, which put Jennifer Hodges, a white woman, in position. Then Commissioners Perno, Peebles, and Warwick removed her and put in Chris Lightfoot. So in less than a week, you removed 2 women from the city manager position. It just seems kind of like the commission may not only be racist, but biased against women in leadership. Commission, can you expect Mr. Lightfoot to do the right thing? He was named as one of the employees in the room with Bobby Baker, Chris Forehand, Vicki Gaynor, and CJ, which also means Lightfoot was complicit with Chris Forehand's changes for the bid proposals. If Lightfoot thought something was illegal or unethical, why didn't he report it? Doesn't he have a legal or moral obligation to do that? So if he didn't tell the commission or somebody that something illegal or unethical was being done, it means one of 2 things. Number 1, Mr. Lightfoot doesn't believe anything was unethical or illegal, therefore he didn't report it. Or number 2, he can't be trusted because he didn't report it if he thought it was wrong. Either way, he can't be trusted. Can you trust him to do the right thing or tell the truth? Additionally, the leak in City Hall here happened on Mr. Lightfoot's watch. Vicki Gaynor wanted Culpepper to finish the punch list, but Mr. Lightfoot got with the boards at the county and said you guys could get a certificate of occupancy in less than 2 weeks. If he can't handle the stormwater flooding in the city, how do you expect him to handle the flooding in City Hall? With the storm of lawsuits coming, this is not looking good. Also, what is Mr. Lightfoot going to do about the employee that didn't redact Ms. Gaynor's personal information from a public records request to Judy Tender? That is unexcusable. So what are you guys going to do about it? Dirt is dirt no matter where it's rolled, whether it's under the carpet or left in the floor. Thank you.
Rich Walker.
Good morning. Normally, I'm accused of being a soothsayer and negative. You've got to understand, the citizens come up here, 6 or 7 of them, consistently. I've been to these meetings for over 20 years, and we bring up ideas. We notice that you do not take notes, you do not answer any of the questions, and you've been told that let the people just say their 3 minutes, they're blowing smoke, and that's it. I think you better change your attitude. We're not blowing smoke. We're up here trying to help this city. And you take a negative attitude towards people, predecessors here. You've got ahead of you the budget, which you didn't finish. You've got the comp plan, you've got the charter to review. You should cancel that whole charter group and start all over again. You've got the CRA coming up on its sunset. You've got to get rid of it, and you should get rid of it. You've got a debt of $31 million. You owe Culpeper 18.1. You do not have a CO, you think you do, on this building because they haven't finished. Culpeper has to finish it and tell the city they finished the permit. Hasn't been done. So, what I'm saying here is, pay attention to what you've got coming. You were told that you're solvent in the budget conference ad. If I was a solvent in my house and running my office when I was working for the government, I would be fired. You're $31 million in debt. You owe $18.1 million to Culpeper. That to me, you're solvent. Yeah, you balance the budget. You're solvent. But in my house, that wouldn't go. I don't owe anything. I don't owe anything to anybody. I don't have a debt. I don't have any debts that I have to pay. I planned it that way. We are not planning it that way. Please, pay attention to what the citizens are saying to you. They're trying to help. Don't get mad at them. Don't accuse them of things. Help them help you. Thank you. Have a good evening, even though it's raining.
All right, additional public commentary.
Good morning, Jerry Parker, Rhett Place. I want to remind everyone that Florida is an at-will state. She could have been fired for any reason. So all the other information is totally irrelevant. She could have been fired for any reason whatsoever. That's number one. Number two, Robert's Rules states that we have a right for rebuttal. So Mayor, I'm stating, when you rebut us and say that we have not given correct information, we would like to be able to come up and to rebut your commentary. That's another thing. We're still under so much chaos in this building, so many people. And yes, Mayor, we are trying to recall you. Yes, there were 2 things that were done that weren't, the dates were incorrect. Okay, but we're going to go forward with it. We're going to go forward with the recall as noted. Thank you.
Additional public commentary. All right, moving on to our reports. Commissioner Peebles.
Thank you, Mayor. Thanks for everyone coming out. Just wanted to let everyone know that fall ball is starting again. It's been a lot of fun so far. I did get a fun report on how Lynn Haven does a really good job at volleyball. So that I just wanted to give some props there. I've heard some great things from volleyball, and I might be registering my children in the future. That being said, I met with a lot of people these past few weeks, and so thank you to everyone that met with me. And thank you, staff, for being here when we had our meetings, and thanks to everyone that took care of the leak and got us out the door properly and everything. So just thanks to all the staff and everybody, and that's my report.
All right, Commissioner Perno.
Thank you, Mayor. I have nothing to report. I think we're putting everything out in public about things, and we're moving forward. I would like to thank all the city employees and department heads in this time, and all of the people who come to the meetings and care enough to give us your opinions and how you feel about our city. And I'd like to thank all of our first responders, our police and fire, and our dispatchers.
All right, Commissioner Ward.
Yes, so I have the privilege of being an officer with the Bay County League of Cities. In case you don't know what that is, it kind of stems off Florida League of Cities. And we had a dinner last night, and we had a phenomenal speaker from the Secretary of FDOT, Jared Perdue, and he gave us a lot of great information and kind of gave me a new perspective on what they do. And just wanted to share some information with you that you may or may not find interesting. But they currently have over 10,500 active contracts that are valued over $21 billion. Every day, on average, they spend about $45 million on infrastructure, and they've had the most mega projects in FDOT history. So a mega project is anything over $500 million. And they have the 16th largest economy in the world, just to give you an idea how much infrastructure goes on in Florida. We all know Florida is always growing, and they have to keep up with that with infrastructure. And they currently rank number one in economy. For this current budget fiscal year, they got a budget of $15.1 billion. So every dollar that they expend, they expect to yield an average of $4.26 in economic benefits. So he gave us a lot of information like that, and then opened it up for Q&A. And he talked about the DuPont Bridge, and that's expected to be finished in 2031. Someone had asked about, what about the old bridge that's going to be torn down? And for the next 5 years, they expecting to have spend $66.1 billion. Out of that $66.1 billion, 77% would be state funded and 23% would be federal funded. And then he kind of gave us a perspective on the legislative process. So for this last session, which went longer than normal, they had almost 2,000 bills that they filed. And out of those 2,000 bills, 269 of them were passed. So that was about, a pass rate of 13%. So that's kind of the struggles they go through sometimes. And it was just a lot of great information. Another thing they talked about was rural roads, trying to widen them. An example he used was like State Route 20 that kind of goes towards Eglin Air Force Base area. And if anybody's been down that road and knows that can be pretty treacherous trying to get around construction vehicles and that. So they're looking at ways of trying to widen them in certain areas so that they can pass and be a lot more safe. But there was a lot of great conversation, a lot of great information, gave me a new perspective on what FDOT does. I know a lot of times we just kind of concentrate on here, why don't they do this and why don't do that? But when you kind of see the big picture of things, you kind of understand why they do what they do. And at the end, it was interesting. I shook his hand, thanked him for the great presentation, and his parents happened to be there, who were obviously very proud of him. And we were talking to his mom, and she was talking about some problems that she has in her area with construction. And we're all just kind of huddling in going, well, who's responsible for that? And we're kind of wondering if it's a Panama City, Lynn Haven, to kind of see who you're going to call out. And come to find out it was in a different county. And we were like, well, yeah, you're probably going to have to contact the county for that. And she goes, no, it's an FDOT project. So she totally called out her son on the whole thing. And I kind of looked at him and I was like, well, you're not going to take care of her? And she's like, nope, he doesn't do any special favors for anybody, including me. So it was a great time, a lot of great information. And I got the slides. I'll publish them on my Facebook page if anybody's interested. But yeah, it was a great evening and a lot of great information. But the only other thing I had was the budget workshop. Do we know when we're going to finish that up?
Yes, sir. That is something I wanted to bring up in my report of some possible dates.
All right. That's all I have. Thank you.
Commissioner Tinder.
Thank you, Mayor. I would particularly like to focus on our directors and the people who guide everyone as far as doing their job. I know, especially with the leak and all of that, it's been a nightmare for them to watch where their people are and help them be able to function at their max and everything else. So my thank yous go out to them. As I have said before, I'm really focusing on staff and employees this year. I'm coming in. I'd like to see a lot of things put in place to protect our employees, to just to magnify what they really do. and to make sure that everybody is being treated fairly. And that's a big deal to me, and I will stay on it like a dog with a bone. Anyway, I'm going to be on the agenda in a little bit, so I'll wait and talk about that then. So that's my report, Mayor.
All right.
Mayor, if I may, Commissioner Warwick's report jogged my memory, and I do believe we have a vacancy on the TPO. There's only one of us serving on the TPO right now. That would be me. So I'd like a partner at the meetings. So if one of you here would like to volunteer to be on the TPO, that would fulfill our obligations. So we're one short since the election, because it was myself and Commissioner Vandegrift. So just putting that out there. Any takers?
Let me think about it, and for me anyways.
The TPO is great. I mean, and you stimulated a lot of what the TPO does here in our, because we just don't talk about Lynn Haven at the TPO. It encompasses everything in the area, in the region.
Pat, I'll think about it too, down the road a little bit.
If somebody doesn't volunteer, we'll draft someone.
It's volunteer or volunteer.
Yeah, so we'll do that. Thanks for bringing that up. Mr. Lightfoot?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, a couple of things today. First, City Hall CO. So we do have a temporary CO, though there has been a lot of discussion about this building. There was a temporary CO issued by the former building official in October of 2023. I discussed with him some language that is on that CO. There is no expiration date, though typically a temporary CO can expire within 30, 60, 90, or 180 days. It is at the discretion of that building official. So when he issued the paper and we have the hard copy, there is no expiration date written on it. We are still moving forward with the pre-action system and the BDA system repairs that needed to be done. They are working on those today, hence the announcement about the alarm that potentially could go off today. As long as everything goes smoothly with that install, we will do the test tomorrow, and then again, we will submit to the county for final inspection. All the other inspections have passed, including the plumbing inspection, even though we had a leak on the building Friday. A little bit about the leak. As some of you remember, on Friday, we had an emergency exit hastily. We had an 1.5 inch copper line that separated from the joint. We were able to cut the water off. ServPro has commended staff from facilities to police to public works and the speed that they acted in clearing up the water. I think we had every staff member available here at the building. They said they really helped save as much as they could. Squeegees and towels and paper towels and shirts and everything they could to sop up the water. So ServPro is really pleased with the amount of water that staff was able to dry up, as well as what has been dried up from Friday to today. We will be doing a little bit of demo in some areas that are still showing very wet. We will remove that sheetrock, get those areas dried out, and then we will work with the contractor on any restoration we need. And a little bit of clarity, we do not owe Culpeper 18-point-something million. As we discussed Friday, we have an outstanding balance of about $315,000. So, back in December, you all approved a task order with Dewberry for surveying the west side area for additional outfalls. We've received those surveys back. They've presented a couple different options to the city for construction, as well as some property acquisition for some stormwater ponds. We'll be bringing that to the commission in the coming months to look at and potentially add to the budget of fiscal year 27. The Illinois Avenue sidewalk is wrapping up. Going to do a walkthrough on that Friday. We'll have a punch list for the contractor, and that sidewalk will be opened up. The 2 CDBG projects that you all approved last month, we held the pre-con on that. The notice to proceed for the Minnesota Avenue sidewalk is August 11th, And the West 10th Street utility project was, the notice to proceed was August 4th. However, you won't see any work really start on that one for the next month or two while they get everything ready. We do have a new planning director that we mentioned will be starting after Labor Day. We have a new IT director starting August 20th, or IT manager, I'm sorry. We did get a notification from FWC to draw down Davis Lake. We will do that the first week of November, and we'll bring that back before the commission just to notify the public, and we'll send out notifications to those residents as well.
That gets done every, was it 4 or 5 years?
Yes, sir. The last time it was 2021 that this was done. So it'll go from November to March. Again, shout out to Haney. If you saw, they were ranked in the top technical schools by USA Today. And then our very own Haley Henderson, she won the regional MLB pitch, hit, and run, and she'll now advance to the championship. That will coincide with the World Series, I believe in October. So shout out to her hard work, and we'll be rooting for her here in Lynn Haven. And then just wanted to discuss finishing the budget meeting. Potentially could do it after the pre-commission meeting, the next Friday that we have one, or if you all would like to schedule another day, just kind of up for discussion.
I'm good with that, if the rest of you are.
I think that works.
I'm fine with that.
So just plan on after the pre-commission meeting, we'll just continue on like we did and pick up where we left off. And then if you all had any questions or statements from what we did complete last Friday, we can kind of go back to those as well.
Sounds good.
All right, and then the warrant or checklist from Ms. Roman.
Morning. First of all, let me tell you that I will update the budget document between now and your next meeting on the 22nd, so those numbers may change a bit. I'm hoping to have revenue numbers from the state. I will update those if those are available. If I have additional input from the interim city manager, also include that. So I'll try and get that document to you as quickly as possible. I don't anticipate major changes, but there will be some changes. Harold, would you put my screen up, please? Commissioner Perno asked me a question I was unable to answer on Friday. I have that information in front of you now. We went through many, many, many numbers on Friday, and I had said that I don't ever want to look at one singular number, but if I had to, this would be it. I don't want to rehash what we did on Friday, but I'm not being ready on Friday. These are the unassigned fund balances per the audit for the last 4 years. And as you can see, we're headed in the right direction. So again, the city is solvent. We are fulfilling all of our obligations. I want to make sure that we're all clear on that. Do you have any questions with regard to this information? I'm also going to be developing some reports for you that you haven't seen in the past. I would ask you if there's anything specific that you would like to see, please send me an email and I'll develop those for you. I'm also going to be asking the Finance Review Committee on the 27th for their recommendations of what they think would be helpful to you on a monthly basis. So please, if there's anything specific that you're curious about, just send me an email and the Finance Department will work on those for you. I can answer any questions that you have about the checklist.
Just one quick one. When did you say you're going to create the Finance Committee? You just said...
The next scheduled meeting of the Finance Review Committee is Wednesday, the 27th of August at 8 a.m.
Thank you.
Thank you. You can take that down now, Harold.
Mayor, one more thing as well. We are also applying for a FEMA port security grant to replace our fireboat. It is due in the next few days. So our grant writer, River Jordan, is working on completing that application. Hopefully, we will hear good news from that, and we will bring that back to you for acceptance and a grant resolution if we are awarded.
All right. Any questions for Mr. Lightfoot? All right. City Attorney,
I have no report.
do we have any updates on any pending litigation?
The The lawsuit brought by Gordon and Associates against the city was dismissed by Judge Hinkle in federal court yesterday. It was dismissed without prejudice, so it is likely that he will file again in state court in accordance with his contract that requires venue in Bay County. Depositions for Mr. Lightfoot and Mr. Baker. Mr. Lightfoot's have been set. Mr. Baker's are in the process of being set for late September. And that's the only report I have on that. Do you have any questions about specific litigation?
No, that's it.
Mayor, may I just ask one quick question? Now, when I read, and I'm reading all that legal jargon, and it's 20 pages long, correct me if I'm wrong, I was under the impression that the part of the Michael Gordon papers, they were dismissing Bill, the police officer, I always say his name wrong, McClendon. They were eliminating that because that was like the last paragraph. Is that?
I believe the entire suit has been dismissed because it was filed in the wrong venue.
It was filed where?
In the wrong venue. It was filed in federal court, and it should have been filed in state court.
Okay. But you assume they're just going to refile it then? Yeah.
I do.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions for the city attorney? Consent agenda, approval of minutes 7/18/25, approval of minutes 7/22/25, approval to accept the donation of a 98 Spartan bookmobile from Chesterfield Rotary Club, and authorize staff to auction this off for the proceeds to go to the animal shelter. Is there a motion to approve consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right. Ms. Lightfoot, if you call the roll.
Commissioner Ward,
Yes.
Commissioner Perno,
Yes.
Commissioner Tender,
Yes.
Commissioner Peebles,
Yes.
Mayor Nelson.
Yes, motion passed. Old business, final reading of ordinance 1182 relating to amending the UODC to clarify the front yard parking standards for recreational vehicles on residential properties. Mr. Lightfoot, if you'll read that by title only, please.
An ordinance of the City Commission of Lynn Haven, Florida, amending the Unified Land Development Code to clarify the front yard parking standards for recreational vehicles on residential property, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for codification, and providing for an effective date.
All right. Any input, city attorney?
I will remind you that Mr. Peebles did recommend at the Friday workshop that the phrase "on public property" be added to the end of the phrase that reads, "so long as not blocking a public sidewalk on public property." I didn't make that change to the ordinance, so that is still available for you to consider and discuss before you adopt.
All right.
I definitely think it needs to be added, as he was talking about the other day.
It is.
It is added. Do we have to vote on that?
If you want to add that phrase, I would recommend that you make a motion to approve this ordinance with that amendment.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to approve the ordinance with the amendment.
Second.
All right, discussion from the public. All right, any further discussion from the commission? All right, Mr. Lightfoot, if you call the roll.
Commissioner Perno,
Yes.
Commissioner Ward,
Yes.
Commissioner Tender,
Yes.
Commissioner Peebles,
Yes.
Mayor Nelson.
Yes, motion passed. New business, discussion and possible approval of emergency repair of lift station 47, Marshall Brothers. Mr. Lightfoot.
Yes, sir. This lift station is at the foot of the Bailey Bridge. Staff had budgeted to put funds in fiscal year 26 proposed budget for this repair. Unfortunately, the riser pipe did blow apart, so we are down to one side of the lift station. Staff reached out to 3 different companies and received quotes. Marshall Brothers is the lowest bidder. We will still anticipate putting funds in the fiscal year 26 budget to replace the pumps and panels. This project will just replace the piping.
All right, any questions about that?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, discussion from the public. Yes, sir. Come on down.
Question. The Finance Committee met a while back, a long time ago, when it wasn't called the Finance Committee, and they were given information on a project, 5-year project by the Finance Office, saying that they could pay off the debt and everything and be ready for things within 5 years, unless we went into emergency situations. Since then, I believe we've had 3 emergency problems which impact the budget. We're never in the budget. And now you're voting on one other. Is this, and you're calling it an emergency. So is this added to the list of emergencies, things that we've had that are tentatively affecting our sewer plant within the criteria of what the Finance Committee said and agreed on, that there would be no emergencies? We couldn't handle them. Is this one of them? And there's 2 others that went before. The centrifuge is one, and the program that we've got with the centrifuge is another. Were these ever considered, or are these going to be considered as emergencies for the budget dealing with the sewer plant that we did not foresee?
So, Mayor, in answer to Mr. Walker's comments there, when the Finance Review Committee met and Ms. Roman presented the information to the Finance Review Committee, it was shown that within 5 years, it would take the rates increasing, expenses being cut, budget constraints to hit that zero, basically break even with the budget. When they say we did not contend for emergencies, it's because we didn't have an emergency fund. We have been able to kind of save some money in the sewer department. We have had a little bit of reserves this fiscal year. However, we cannot prevent emergencies. So yes, this is the 3rd lift station we've had an emergency repair on. It is right on the water's edge. If the lift station fails, we will have sewer go into the bayou. So it is definitely an emergency to get it repaired.
All right, additional commentary? All right, Ms. Lightfoot, if you call the roll.
Commissioner Perno?
Yes.
Commissioner Warwick?
Yes.
Commissioner Tender?
Yes.
Commissioner Peebles?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes, motion passed. Discussion and possible approval of resolution for the fee schedule update. If you read this by title only, please.
A resolution of the City of Lynn Haven, Florida, amending chapters 42, 46, 54, 70, and 86 of the fee schedule in Appendix A of the Lynn Haven Code of Ordinances and providing for an effective date.
All right, are there any questions for Ms. Roman regarding the fee schedule update?
Go ahead.
Mrs. Marsh will be discussing that.
Any questions?
This is more so to go back on what we talked about on Friday of potentially raising the fees for sports for non-Lynn Haven residents. Obviously, I don't want it to be an exceptional amount, but I think that since our citizens' tax dollars are paying for these facilities, I think it's only right that people that don't live in Lynn Haven that are using our facilities help offset that cost by paying a little bit more. I think Justin might have said maybe like $5 more. I'm in favor of something like that, at least this year, and then on a trial basis even, and see if that drastically hurts our numbers or what have you. I know that Panama City is supposed to be opening their sports complex, so we'll probably see a dip in numbers because of that. But I do think it's important to at least consider doing this.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of like our utilities. When we have people that have utilities that are non-Lynn Haven residents and they pay a surcharge. So I agree.
All right, any other questions or comments regarding the fee schedule update as it is for now?
And Commissioner Peebles, just for clarity, like we discussed Friday, we're going to continue forward with the numbers we have presented, and then the next time the fee schedule is updated, increase for the outside of Lynn Haven registries.
That's right. Thank you.
All right, any other questions, comments? Is there a motion for this?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, discussion from the public. If no discussion, if you'll call the roll, please.
Commissioner Ward,
Yes.
Commissioner Perno,
Yes.
Commissioner Tender,
Yes.
Commissioner Peebles,
Yes.
Mayor Nelson.
Yes, motion passed. Discussion and possible approval to purchase 500 single port transmitters for the city's water meter program.
Yes, sir. These are the transmitters that go on top of the meter lids. It connects to the water meter and then sends a signal back to the antenna for the billing department to generate the bill. These are a sole source purchase through Core and Main, our census supplier, and it also has a new touch reader in the amount of $583.
All right, any questions about that?
These track the flow of water, like if you have a leak or anything like that?
So converts the meters to the radio read, which does allow the billing department to see if there's leaks or issues with the meter. Yes, sir.
All right, is there a motion for this?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, comments from the public?
Chris, how many meters will it leave that don't have the transmitters on them after this?
I believe we're around 6,000 completed in the ballpark of, and we've got about 10,500. So we're working on our way of about 60 to 65% complete.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, sir.
And you piggybacked off another contract, correct? To get
No, sir, not for this. That
for
is something
this.
we are anticipating bringing to you all in October for the install.
Okay.
This is something we currently already own, the census program, the census hardware, and we just have to continue purchasing the transmitters.
But we're projected to be completed with all this at the end of fiscal year 27.
Yes, sir, fiscal year 27.
All right, additional public commentary? If you'll call the roll.
Commissioner Ward,
Yes.
Commissioner Perno,
Yes.
Commissioner Tender,
Yes.
Commissioner Peebles,
Yes.
Mayor Nelson.
Yes, motion passed. Discussion of possible approval for the mayor to sign the Amendment 3 for the CDBG Hazard Mitigation Grant Program for Acme Lane drainage improvements.
Yes, sir. These are some more grant amendments that are coming in. Unfortunately, Department of Commerce does not send them all at one time. So as they come in, we've been bringing to the commission. We've done several in the past few months, but this is just Amendment 3 to extend that deadline for the Acme Lane drainage improvements, the HMGP project. And hopefully we will actually be closing this one out very soon.
All right, any questions about this?
No. Motion to approve.
Second.
Is this a resolution? Do we have to read it?
No, sir. It's just voting for the commission to approve for the mayor to sign.
Okay.
All right. Any discussions from the public? All right, if you'll call the roll.
Commissioner Ward,
Yes.
Commissioner Tender,
Yes.
Commissioner Peebles,
Yes.
Commissioner Perno, Mayor Nelson.
Yes.
Yes, motion passed. Discussion and possible approval of resolution authorizing Chris Lightfoot to submit a resilient Florida grant application to the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. If you read this resolution by title only, please.
Yes, sir. A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Lynn Haven, Florida, authorizing Chris Lightfoot to submit a Resilient Florida grant application to the Florida Department of Environmental Protection and to execute as the city's representative all documents related to the grant application, award, and administration, providing for conflicts, severability, and an effective date.
All right, questions for this?
This is just a blanket statement about the Resilient Florida grants, or is it a specific grant?
So it is for the Resilient Florida grants. There is a whole bunch of money out there that we anticipate.
It's a pot of
Correct.
money.
We anticipate submitting for.
Yeah.
A lot of these projects are based upon the vulnerability assessment that Stantec completed.
So this is like 17th Street?
Yes, sir. The
possibly?
first application we plan to anticipate or are applying for is the engineering for the East Side Regional Stormwater Facility for $1 million.
That's what we call it now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I keep saying 17th Street. So. East Side.
All right, any additional questions? All right, is there a motion for this?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, comments from the public? All right, Ms. McElroy, Mr. Walker.
This Resilient Florida pots of money, I think it's important that all of you get a little saturated in what is available. Port St. Joe got money. We utilized our money with University of Florida to give some suggestions because that was the group, one of the groups that was had in-depth knowledge about Resilience Florida. I would say that you all need to take more of an active interest in Resilience Florida and all the different avenues, not just one stream of funding, but several. One of the things you may want to do is utilize some money, $200,000, to have experts come in and provide you knowledge of where you are the most vulnerable. And working with Northwest Florida Water Management District, talking about those maps as well. Wouldn't just put it on one person.
All right, Mr. Walker.
Do you want it?
We had discussions about this before, and you explained it, but the acoustics in this building and the verbiage gets lost. And I just wanted to get something straight. As I understand it, we're turning in a fire truck, we're trading one in?
We're not on that line item yet. That's the next agenda item.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Any questions about the Florida grant application? All right.
And Mayor, to answer Ms. McElroy's question, so we did get our vulnerability assessment completed. It was a grant through DEP as well. So they studied the city. They have all the FEMA flood maps. They have all of our vulnerable infrastructure, including City Hall, Police Department, lift stations, water and sewage treatment facilities, and vulnerable stormwater areas.
Yeah, coastline.
Right, the coastline. So this is where we are able to now take that study that was done through a grant and actually submit and put these projects to work and complete other grant applications. Where we have an advantage over others is we already have our vulnerability assessment done. So we get more points in the grant application by showing that it is an important project or it is recognized in our vulnerability assessment.
If I may, the Northwest Florida Water Management District is they're in front of you and all the time. And Daryl Boudreau, the estuary program, is involved too. They are always suggestive and bringing forward any potential grants that we can get, and they're always wanting to meet with Chris or myself or to give us access to potential grants. I know that. So I hope that answers your question, because we are involved. We are involved the best way we can for these resilient grants. But there's a lot of people. I mean, it's a lot of money, but it goes out fast. So.
All right. If you call the roll.
Commissioner Perno?
Yes.
Commissioner Warwick?
Yes.
Commissioner Tender?
Yes.
Commissioner Peebles?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes, motion passed. Discussion and approval of resolution authorizing the purchase of custom fire engine for the amount of $980,000. You read this resolution by title only, please.
A resolution of the City of Lynn Haven, Florida, approving the purchase of a fire engine in the total amount of $980,000.
All right, of course, there are questions in regards to this. So if we could, I guess, explain so that everyone will get the detailed information of how this transaction is happening, inclusive of us receiving $980,000 in state funding as well.
Yes, sir. So this is an appropriation request that the former city manager worked with our lobbyists to submit. We had actually 3 appropriation requests. Unfortunately, this was the only one that was approved. The $980,000 was worked on. Chief Johnson was able to reach out to the vendor, and they were able to work out the finances where the purchase price would have been $1,005,000 for the truck. We are getting $25,000 trade-in value for our 2010 E1 pumper, and so our purchase price will be $980,000. We will purchase this truck, and then we will submit for a request for reimbursement through the legislative appropriation.
You know about how long it takes to get your money back?
Typically, with any appropriations we've done, we've gotten reimbursements within 90 days. It's usually pretty quick.
Excellent, thank you.
And I guess another question would be in regards to this 980,000 as we're waiting on the appropriation to be reimbursed. Where are we taking these funds from? Is that from the general fund that we're using this money from, or where are we actually spending this?
Ms. Roman.
Yes. The money is actually included in the fiscal 26 budget as a revenue and an expenditure. So it's budget neutral in fiscal 26. I don't anticipate paying anything in fiscal 25. However, we do need your authorization to issue the purchase order in fiscal 25.
All right. Any additional questions?
Mayor, I have a question. Which truck are we trading in? That's what I'm trying to understand.
Yes, it's the 2010 Engine 1 pumper.
So it's not the other big one that we got last year?
No, ma'am. We will be keeping that truck for a long time.
Really? So we need two?
We need multiple, yes, ma'am.
Have we ever used that big pumper?
Yes,
On a
ma'am.
fire?
I don't know if it's been on a fire. It would be a Chief Johnson question, but I'm sure it's been to several house fires.
Here he comes.
So that the fire for Dollar General, the brush fire they had there.
They use the big one?
Mayor, Commission, Fire Chief Mark Johnson. Yes, ma'am, Ms. Tinner, your question?
My question is, how often do we use that big extended ladder thing that I thought we originally bought for the marina, since
That
that's
truck-
our only tall building?
That truck runs every day. It runs on EMS calls, it runs on fire calls, it runs on car accidents. It backs up Engine 2 out at Station 2 on Mosley Drive, so it's running every day. The engine in question is the 2010 pumper. It's causing a issue with mechanical issues and breaking down all the time, and due to the age, getting the parts and extended time down for repair. That's why we requested the new one. Also, with the Suffin engine, they're putting a tech on the road on I-10 because more departments are buying Suffin engines, so we'll have a certified EVT working on our vehicles after this purchase.
Since you have taken over this position,
Yes, ma'am.
have you used this big truck, and I'm just calling it a big truck, have you used it enough that you would have said we needed it? And this is kind of hindsight, because now we're wanting two.
Well,
And-
one's a ladder truck. This is just a fire engine that we're purchasing. It doesn't have the big ladder on it. It's smaller and more maneuverable in the city, within the city streets, so it doesn't have the big ladder on top.
Okay, so it's not
Totally
like the one we
separate.
already have.
When to classify for fire trucks, you have a ladder truck, which has the extended 75-foot ladder on it. The engine that we're buying has 24-foot ladders that are inside the truck, so it's totally different. It does have 1,000 gallons of water on it, so it will give us an extended time on any kind of fire situation. But for ISO reasons, due to the condo, we do need the ladder truck in service.
You just answered all my questions. Thank you.
Any other questions from Commission?
Yes, Chief, while you're here, what's the shape in the fleet? How many trucks, and what's your overall opinion on everything?
Not good.
Okay, so
Just to be honest with you,
yeah,
Blunt.
I'd like to know while you're here to let us know.
This will start the process of reducing it. You know, I'm running 25 and 30-year-old trucks.
Yep.
You know, the good thing about buying a fire truck, yes, it is very expensive and it's not getting any cheaper. But once you purchase this truck, it is a 20-year purchase. Usually you're right around the 15-year mark in service frontline. And usually that truck at that time will go into a backup or reserve. So yes, it is expensive. I understand it, but it's purchases for the future, not just for now.
Commissioner Perno, too, I have the list of current fire apparatus vehicles. We have a 1995 fire engine. We have a 1998 fire engine. We have a 2003 ladder truck, a 2010 fire engine, and then a 2020 ladder truck.
Everything's pretty old.
Yes, sir.
And we're growing, and we need to
We are growing.
need to look
and
at an annex.
One thing as your fire chief, keeping the residents safe, I have to look at growth. I have to look at who's coming in, how many buildings we're building, what type of buildings, are they apartments, are they single-family structures? So do my due diligence as your fire chief to keep this community as safe as I can. I need apparatus that can run efficiently and get there fast.
Response times too, right?
Response times also go into our ISO rating.
All right. Any other questions for Chief Johnson?
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
All right. Is there a motion for this?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right. Discussion from the public. Mr. Walker.
Dealing with the big hook and ladder. Good, because I don't want to lose that one. With Fuel Depot coming on and the high buildings and that condo, when it's necessary. Thank you, I got my answer.
All right. Additional commentary? All right. If you call the roll.
Commissioner Perno?
Yes.
Commissioner Ward?
Yes.
Commissioner Tender?
Yes.
Commissioner Peebles?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes, motion passed. Number 18, discussion for procuring an executive firm for the search of a new city manager.
Ms. Hodges?
Good morning. We started a discussion on this on Friday. I provided some information. Friday got a little hectic, to be real honest. So my ability, and yesterday was also very busy. My ability to reach out to each of you to get your feedback is limited. I'd like to continue that with the position description. And again, in recap, what really needs to happen is for the commission to give us guidance in terms of what are the critical qualifications you're looking for your city manager. Again, keep in mind, a firm can do a total package, marketing, publications, recruitment, screening, or can do a la carte. In order for us to be able to serve you, because this will be your contract employee, I'm going to need some feedback. So I will reach out to each of you. Thank you, Commissioner Wart, for your written response. I'm sure I'll come back to you about your 3 top areas of qualifications. And then I should be able to have more direction and information for our next meeting. And we can start that at pre-commission or at any time. I will do this as one-on-ones so that I can get your individual input. Is that okay, City Attorney? Any questions for me at this point?
So you're just going to reach out with an appointment for a one-on-one? Okay.
So is this, I mean, I know we've had discussions, so this is about hiring a firm to search for us?
Well, I've heard you want an interim, then a city manager. I mean, there are some decisions you all have to make. Do you remain with your current structure and management system and we go for a search firm forward? Do you rely on existing staff to do this work? I mean, it can come in lots of different ways. From my discussions with the firm, a complete package is going to run $35,000 to $50,000. So that would have to be budgeted as well.
Right, and that's what I wanted to, I'm glad you mentioned the price tag, but the last time we discussed, I think you also mentioned our reach, what we had in previous searches, because we've done this before. And the last time we did it, we got, potential candidates and we got people coming here to interview and whatnot. And the time before, I guess, we had to go back pretty far back to get to remember when we used a firm before. So it's our decision.
The last time was with the search for
Joel Schubert.
Yes, Mr.
Right. So So the last time we did it, we did not use a firm, but we still have a reach through League of Cities and whatnot, right?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can post and pay for recruitment materials and efforts nationwide. That's not a problem.
So
It's not that I can't have access to
So
them.
do we spend $50,000 or do we take a swing at doing the search, putting it out there?
Well, you want to know our opinion?
Yeah, I mean, we should discuss it here.
This is where my mind frame's at. My opinion is, one, as far as the interim city manager, I say we keep it the way it is. Because I feel like if we change it, and then we change it again.
There's no sense spending money to search for an interim, right now.
Well, that and stability for the city. Because
very much
every
so.
person's different. Everybody leads and manages differently. So if you get someone in here, does things differently, then you get another person that's going to create, I think it's going to create a little bit of chaos. So I'd like to just search for a city manager. And in my opinion, I say we advertise it on our website and anywhere other places that we can do, whether it be Florida League of Cities, and then there's that ICCMA, whatever that one
the
is.
reach that we can do, the web we can throw.
And see what kind of responses we get. And if we're not happy with the responses, then maybe we can look into hiring a firm. That's where my opinion's at.
I like your thinking, old boy.
Yes, what are the pros and cons?
Because I wouldn't want to spend the money right off the bat. Is what I was getting at. But
So what are the pros and cons for having a firm or doing it internally?
Well, first off, before we even start to advertise, again, I need your feedback on exactly what collectively you want to look for in a city manager. Qualifications, experience, because again, whether we do it in-house or it's done by a firm, we need to know the parameters to market and recruit. An outside third-party firm is just that. It's a third-party independent consultant. Sometimes that comes with more believability, whether that's true or not, in terms of the process. Sometimes it has that feeling that it was done more correctly, whether that's true or not. I think we have the ability to do it either way. One is more cost-effective, but you have to be comfortable, and we can do it as an interim step. If the applicants do not reach the level of expectation of the board, then we could reach out, even if it's just an a la carte use of a firm. Keep in mind that selections and recruitment could also be cyclical, meaning I can run an advertisement today and not get many applicants for any of our positions. Take it down, wait a week, hit it again, and suddenly we've gotten 30 people where we got nothing before. So it has to do with timing, and if I had a crystal ball, I could answer your questions to the best of my ability. But to date, I haven't been able to create that crystal ball to help in the selection process.
All right. I do think it's something that we need to hear from the citizens on, not necessarily today per se, but certainly get the citizens' feedback as to what they think would be a good idea, whether it's a third party or us doing it internally as well. So that would be my suggestion, because we're spending their money. So
you talking about a workshop?
Not necessarily a workshop. I mean, next commission meeting, put it down as an agenda item for us to discuss and approve, and then that way we can get some citizen feedback.
I like that we're talking right now. That's good.
Yeah.
We, both Finance Director Roman and I, have discussed and put some money into next year's budget, contemplating that you all may desire to have a third-party consultant at some level. So it is in the current budget to be able to provide us that support, as well as an overall city position salary study.
In fiscal 26.
All right. Any other input, Commissioner Tender, Commissioner Peebles?
I just think it's going to be real important to get a collection of ideas and what our anticipations are. I do know that I'm getting emails already wanting to know where people should apply. And obviously, we'll have a date if they want to,
Yeah, we can
date and
announce it.
how they can apply. So I just keep telling them to hold on.
Right. Again, premature because we still need feedback. I still need feedback from all of you.
I guess my question would be, if we were to do this internally, what is the method that's used to reach out nationally? Is it just simply putting it on our website, or do we have some type of process to advertise?
Well, it'll all funnel into our website because that's where my data collection and archive banks are. However, you can go to various professional sites. You can post a position that has a link to our website and our collection, because I'm required to keep all applications for 3 years. So we have to archive that information as public record. So it's a funneling, and we did that for the Director of Planning and Development. We reached out to special associations and professional organizations so that we could target the actual individuals with the right degrees and backgrounds. I've done that for the building official. They're harder to find. There's not as many, they're more selective. But we have used various groups before to expand our reach to pinpoint the types of qualifications and experience that we're looking for. So that does come with a cost. It's typically about $200 to $300 a month to advertise. The League of Cities will do it free for us. So we will weigh the best way. Sometimes we have to join an organization to be able to, and that might be a benefit, join that organization. Even if it's just to post the position, it's worth doing that. So that will be built into a third-party contract. They will build all those same expenses in as well.
Okay, yeah, that answers my question. So it's kind of like the equivalent of using ZipRecruiter or something like that, where it puts a link to the actual website.
Yeah, currently our advertisements through our website hits Indeed, ZipRecruiter, Glassdoor, Monster, and there's one or two others. As a standard, then I can actually add specialty links.
Awesome, that answers my question. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Meeting adjourned.
Mayor, we've got the.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you added that. My bad.
Yes, sir. So I guess a few months ago, some of the firefighters submitted the paperwork to form a union. When I was appointed interim, County Manager Bob Micah reached out with some guidance that he had been through this before. The city of Panama City Beach is actually going through it right now. They recently hired a law firm to help with the city's portion of how to respond to this. We had a conference call, Ms. Myers and I, Friday. The attorney that we talked to submitted a letter of engagement and would like for you all to discuss and possibly approve it, and Ms. Myers can answer more of the legal questions as well. But this is the letter we received for that.
So the local union has filed a petition to form a bargaining unit. I have been assisting the city in the initial responses, but in doing so, I also recommended that the city consider seeking a labor attorney who worked in this arena all the time. So the engagement letter you have before you is with Jackson Lewis. Ray Velasquez is the attorney who has worked for the county and for Panama City Beach. Chris and I did speak with him on Friday afternoon. He is competent. He is capable. He can start advising the city immediately on essentially just the proper responses as we move forward. Right now, it's very collaborative with the union, and we intend to not make it adversarial, but we would like to call on the expertise of this attorney to help us navigate this process.
All right, questions for Ms. Myers?
What? And your confidence is high in these people. The county uses them as well.
I'm not familiar with the county. I know that Panama City Beach, I was at the meeting where they approved their contract So I know that they are engaged for Panama City Beach, who is at a similar stage in the process as Lynn Haven.
So it's pretty common practice to hire an attorney for these situations then?
It's pretty specialized labor work, and while I have a very superficial knowledge, they have a much deeper bench. And so I feel like the city, while their prices, their hourly rates are more expensive, their expertise is more specialized and concentrated, if you will.
Right, so it's not like, like you said, it's more concentrated, so it's not like we're going to be hiring them every single day.
As an attorney.
It's a very limited engagement just for this firefighter union effort.
Right. So as an attorney yourself, you said limited engagement, like how many billing hours is the ballpark on something like this?
I have no idea. And I think a lot of that depends on what the administrative law judge does with the petition in the bargaining unit. You may not need very much assistance at all if the judge decides not to form the unit. If he does, there may be more involved and expertise needed. That's just hard to predict.
All right, any other questions?
Is this something we need decided today?
Yeah. We are in the process, so the sooner you can get him on board, the sooner you can start availing yourself of his expertise. We do have a response due to the court this week, and to respond to the current petition and the creation of the bargaining unit. So for myself, I would recommend that you move forward with this engagement.
So it says current hourly rate is $7.55, but due to the city's relationship with Bay County, Florida, we'll charge discounted rates of $360 for partners, $310 for associates, and $135 for paralegals.
The $360, $310, and $135 is the hourly rate you would be engaging them for.
Do we have any idea, you mentioned another city that's done this. Do you have any idea how much they spent?
So the city of Panama City Beach recently hired the same firm, and to my understanding from the conversation we had Friday, they basically mirrored their proposal to give to us as well. So they're on the same hourly rates as what you would be accepting.
We have no idea around an estimated total cost will be when this all gets done.
No, sir. Again, they're just starting as well. They're a little bit further along, but not much further.
That was my question. Billable, what's the billable hours? What's the ballpark on the billable hours?
So,
but it depends on the litigation, correct?
Yeah, it does.
And you could potentially make your motion with Ms. Meyer's guidance of putting a cap on it not to exceed $25,000 or whatever number you desire, and then we can bring it back before you if we start getting around that number.
All right, is there a recommendation for a particular cap we would like to put, or just move forward as is?
You know, that might. Dollars and hours.
It's unexpected, so it's up to you. It could be $3,000. It could be $30,000. It's just really hard to predict.
I don't think we're going to have a choice. I think we're going to have to do it regardless.
We've got to do it. So
Let's take an hour's worth. I'm kidding.
Oh no. You want?
I'll make a motion to approve the way it's written as is.
All right, there's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, discussion.
No caveat on a cap. Take it.
Even if they do go over it, we're going to have to do it regardless.
At least we'll get told when it's at a certain level.
Regardless of a cap or not, Commissioner, we can bring you updates.
Yeah.
We can put them in Ms. Meyer's reports monthly or quarterly or just as things happen to keep you all up to date on how the process is playing out.
More lawyers.
All right, comments from the public?
Based on history, y'all have not done a good job listening to your legal counsel. I encourage you, if you're going to engage another, use their advice this time. Thank you.
Additional commentary? All right, if you call the roll.
Commissioner Ward?
Yes.
Commissioner Peebles?
Yes.
Commissioner Perno?
Yes.
Commissioner Tender?
Yes.
Mayor Nelson?
Yes, motion passed. Meeting adjourned.